I'm Chinese American.
I'm Thai American.
I am Filipino.
I'm Black, Japanese, Mexican, and Cherokee mostly.
My dad is Chinese, and my mom is French-Irish.
Growing up, I didn't see faces or experiences like mine on TV or in the movies.
Sometimes I feel like I don't really fully belong in either of their worlds.
It made me feel very alone, like I was a guest in my own country.
I think it's important for Asian Americans to be both present on screen and behind the camera.
I make my own worlds. I make my own stories.
And I hope that the films I make a little bit of difference to audiences who hope to see themselves reflected on screen.
And without representation on things like the silver screen or the boob tube, we really don't have a voice.
Film is the great equalizer. It's the medium that we can all use to tell my story, your story, all our stories.
The Asian American Film Lab and the 72-hour Shootout are incubators for creativity.
If you have the passion, if you have the friends, if you're a little bit crazy, then definitely join the 72-hour film shootout.
Tell us your story and see it on the big screen.
What's your story?
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 We all have a story to tell. What's yours?
For those of you guys that don't know me, I'm Jennifer Beatty Yen. I'm the president of the Film Lab. For those of you that are not familiar with the Film Lab, it's a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the promotion and support of gender and ethnic diversity in film and television, and we accomplish that through many, many different programs. So hopefully you guys have piles of handouts that you can read for hours. Many trees died for them, so I won't go over everything in there. But I do want to introduce the 72-hour Shootout coordinator to you guys. That's Justin Lee.
Hi, everyone.
We're so happy. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with the 72-hour Shootout, it's an opportunity to empower yourselves as filmmakers, as actors, as writers, as directors. We get pretty incredible A-list judges. You know, we've had everybody from Russell Simmons to Marcy Phillips, who's the executive director of casting for ABC, who come to watch these films. And we give you 72 hours. And this year it starts on June 6th, and it goes June 6th to June 9th. We announce a theme at a big launch party in New York, and it's also live streamed, so we have competitors. Already we have people that have registered all the way from Turkey. So we get competitors from all over the world. And we announce the theme on June 6th at the launch party, and literally when we announce the theme of the Shootout, you have 72 hours within which to write, direct, edit, everything, your film. And we roll out a couple of events, including this, which is a Q&A, so you can ask any questions you might have about the Shootout, and then a filmmaking how-to workshop so that you kind of aren't just stuck there with your iPhone like, I guess I'll just film you now. And that one's on April 3rd. And then we'll have a Build Your Team networking party in May. So if you're like, I totally want to compete, but I have no idea how to do anything, and I have no friends. We'll give you friends, yay! So you'll be fine.
This May 2nd.
May 2nd. And everything's on the website, which is film-lab.org. So I'm gonna let Justin say a couple things about this year's Shootout. It changes every year, sort of the sort of theme behind it, what the Shootout coordinator goes for, and he has some pretty incredible ideas that I'm really excited about, and I hope you guys will be too.
Hi. So this year we're working really hard to make this, I think, the 10th anniversary.
It is the 10th anniversary.
By the way, 2014, the best Shootout ever. So me and my volunteers are over here. We're gonna try to get like the best venues, the best sponsors, the best vendors, you know? So like winners will get prizes for different categories, like actresses, actors, best cinematography, best director, best writing, you know? And so we're gonna kind of facilitate that. What we're looking for is good craft, you know? And we understand this is not gonna be easy. You have 72 hours to shoot, direct, and like edit and produce this movie. You guys will either hate each other or love each other at the end, you know? It's kind of like that. If any of you have like done any filmmaking, you know what it's like working with people in such close proximity, you know? And so I think that's one of the like selling points of the 72-hour Shootout is to build these relationships, you know? You're not just building it with each other, you're building it with us too, you know? And so we're kind of here to almost sponsor you, but the best of you, you know, the best of the best. We want to see like the best movies, and we're going to screen them as part of Asian Cinevision and Asian American Film Lab in this huge festival that screens in New York and LA. So that's a big deal. And we also broadcast some of the best things on television so people can see them, you know? And so we kind of market you when you succeed in providing us good material, you know? And so it's a two-way street. We help you guys out, you help us out. And it's just this fantastic opportunity. June 6th, we're gonna have this amazing launch party. You're all invited. And where everyone's gonna have a good time. And that's when I kind of come in and I say the theme and everyone goes. Like, okay, here's the theme of the shootout, and you interpret it in your own way and you create your film. Right now, I want to kind of market this idea. I'm not colorblind. It's this idea of, I just want to kind of plant this into everyone's heads of like the theme of the shootout can kind of encompass this. I'm not colorblind. It's this idea that we're all from different backgrounds. That's who I am. I live with 17 roommates right now in a single space, and we're like this
We
diverse.
pay him a lot.
Yeah, and this is a diverse crowd of people, and I had this conversation. Like, Mike, you're you because you're black. I'm me because I'm Asian, you know? And not because I'm an Asian stereotype, but because I like feel this racial slurs against me, and like my upraising was Asian. That's who I am, you know? Like, you experienced what you experienced because you're black, and through that, that's who you are. You have your own defense mechanisms through those experiences. And so I'm not colorblind. I'm not colorblind. I don't want to just see a film with minorities plugged into it just to like meet the status quo. I want acknowledgement, you know? I want someone real. I want to see real people on the screen. I want to see different colors, and I want to see people act that way, you know? I want to see in different ways, you know? Like, it can be a whole film about it, or just like a slight passing comment about it, but making it more real, rather than watching like, oh, okay, here's like a commercial with a diverse crowd of people doing whatever, you know? But like, I'm not colorblind, so it's hard for me to enjoy films like that. I need something a little bit more real and a little bit more authentic. And so that's what I'm trying to push out for this year's shootout, is I'm not colorblind.
Yeah, I think that's very cool. I think like like what Justin is describing, we really like that idea when he brought it up. It was very rich and really talking about sort of an in-depth experience and not just superficiality. And I don't know, like we just got picked up by NYC Media. We launched a production arm last August, so we've started a television series as well, and there's going to be an opportunity within the shootout to submit television pilots also. And you'll obviously, for the television pilot, you will have an extended period of time that goes till the end of August, because the network does not want to see a television pilot made in 72 hours. They have no interest in that. But really, this is an opportunity to take risks, and we highly encourage you to take risks. We do not want to see the same old boring films, the same old thing you see in mainstream media all the time. This is your opportunity. When you look at a television show or you see a movie and you say, oh my God, this is ridiculous. Like, it's just like stereotype after social, you know, these boring, old, stupid social constructions that you're so sick of. Don't do it. Like, this is your chance to break every mold, to take every gender stereotype, every racial perception, and just break it. Just turn it on its head and do something really interesting. Take the risks that you think the network would never want to see. The movie that you think you would never be able to sell, but you want to make it and see it so bad. And this is your opportunity to showcase it, to have A-list judges take a look at it and to really like go out there. So this is a time when risk will be rewarded in a very risk-averse industry. When risk will be rewarded, and when it is in your best interest to be very bold and to just kind of go crazy.
Yeah, just jumping off of that, like, be genuine, like make the story that you want to make. I feel like the best movies out there are like the most real movies, like going off of it, like make it personal if you can, just going off of that, be authentic, break that stereotype, and then what you'll have is something really special, and then and that's what we want. That's what we want to air. That's what we want to work with, and that's what we're trying to discover through the film lab.
Yeah. So do any of you have any questions about the shootout? Yeah.
I'm just curious, how long do these movies end up being?
The movies have to be 5 minutes or under.
Oh, they're short.
They're short, yeah, because you only have 72 hours. So it wouldn't be quite fair to ask you to make a feature in 72 hours. So yeah, they're short films. And then for the extended period, for the pilot, we're looking at 22 to 28 minute segments. Yeah?
As an actor, how do you become a part of the shootout in terms of casting and what the filmmakers are actually looking for? Is there a process or?
That's our May 2nd networking event, and I recommend you come to that. You know, that's where we put filmmakers and actresses together. That's where we put cinematographers and writers together, and everyone, you know, so that we have, like, this is New York City, we have so many people here, but for some reason everyone's afraid to talk to each other. Let's break that for a second. Let's all gather there, we'll have a good time, and we'll break the mold, and I'll be on the floor too, introducing different people to different people, you know? Like, oh, hey, you're a director, you need an actress, I have one right here. Bang, you know? And
It'll
you
be
guys,
like a dating game.
yeah, but it's more than that. You can feel free to talk about different ideas and what kind of acting you're into and stuff like that, so you guys can find a group that you really mesh with as well, you know? And that's really important, because you don't want to work with some chum who, like, is, you know, and then you guys end up hating each other on set. So that's like really important. But that's what we do. May 2nd, come through.
Yeah, it comes to come to all the events. Like come on April 3rd too, because we'll have a bunch of the top 10 filmmakers on April 3rd, just talking about their experiences, what they thought that they did that helped them get into the top 10. And a lot of them are competing again. Actually, a lot of them have already re-registered. So they'll be great people to talk to.
Or if you have like a director friend that you like really want to work with, or an actress friend, push them to join the Shootout too, you know? Like, why not? The more the merrier, you know? We're not combined. You aren't forced to just work with everyone here. You can reach out and grab other people too, you know? So it's like a crazy group event.
Yeah, and like just from the actor perspective too, I'll just mention 2 shootouts ago at one of the launch party, and people will come to the launch party where the theme gets announced and they still have no team, and they'll just like last minute register and just grab random strangers and suddenly make a movie, and sometimes they're amazing. But so we had 2 groups of actors, and they were all like, well, I'm just an actor, like I can't do anything else. And part of the Shootout is really about self-empowerment, about telling your own stories, making your own stuff. And like, you know, have you ever written a scene for yourself? Oh, look, you can write. You know, have you ever prepared a monologue for an audition? Oh, look, you can kind of direct. Like, you know, it's an opportunity to really take some risks and try out other roles. And so one of those groups, they were like, you know what? We really don't know anything about filming, but like, the Shootout is starting and we really, really want to compete and we really want to showcase ourselves, and they did an awesome job. The other group was like, all I will do is act. I will not write, I will not direct, I will not help with anything else. They didn't compete, so nothing ever happened with them. You know, so I think this is, even if you end up like you're in a group and it's like you and 4 other actors, I have confidence in you. You can make something happen if you want to. But again, you know, we'll have great events where we'll have lots of different people from lots of different areas of specialties to
We understand that people are registering alone. That's why we have these events, you know, to put you guys together. And feel free to like reach out on the Facebook page, be like, hey.
Oh yeah, that's a great forum.
You know, we have a Facebook page. I'll pass around cards later and
yeah, if you guys
write it
want
down and
to, there's stuff on the cards, and also these are just samples. We don't have copies for everybody, but if you guys can just pass it around. These are just like sort of rules, like the general forms. Like you can just take a quick look at them if you want to.
But yeah, join the Facebook page, you know, post on it, be like, hey, I'm an actress, I want to join the Shootout, what's going on? And then we'll reply, or someone else could reply and be like, hey, I'm a director, let's get in touch, blah, 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 you know?
Anything else? All right, well, I hope you guys all compete. I hope we'll see you again on April 3rd.
It's a really good opportunity for the film lab because it's one of those things where, you know, everything is rushed. You get all the collaborators together, including obviously actors, producers, directors, technicians, everybody who gets together just to really make like a nice, fun project.
Coming to the launch party, it gave us the opportunity to network, connect with people that probably if we would have never came here, we would have never met, and stuff like that.
I think it's great that, you know, the Asian American community can come together around art and make something awesome.
Definitely coming to the launch party definitely gave us a few more networks and connections that we didn't have before we came.
The thing I'm personally looking forward to is just working with good people, obviously gaining more experience and hopefully get a solid project out there.
If you want to be a filmmaker, it's good to get contacts in the industry, and this is a great way of doing it.
It's an Asian film event. Obviously,
not everybody has to be Asian, but that's kind of like the goal. It's really getting us exposure out there. It's giving us the ability to hone the craft and showing ourselves in front of the screen.